before we get this thing started, the NFL draft is a week from today. Where are we going to go with that number 9 pick? A lot of rumors about a trade right now. At least from McShay. I saw you post that blog.
Yep.
It's anyone's guess, and we've seen some wild selections over the years, but there's one selection that every football fan can share. That's an ice-cold Miller Lite. Miller Lite knows that the beer lovers want their light beer to taste like beer. That's why they brew a light beer that's light on calories, not on taste, because what's the point of having a beer if you can't taste it?
I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
Just stay right where you are. You grab a Miller Lite. You don't think twice. Take Miller Lite every single time.
Agreed. I'm
wearing
excited.
the Miller Lite sweatshirt right now.
You are, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Nice little brown, beige.
It's
golden.
It's a golden
It's
amber hue that is synonymous with Miller Lite and Miller Lite packaging. Ed, you clown dick.
All right.
Yeah.
Till kickoff comes around again. Enjoy the beer that tastes like the season. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/redline. Or, let's be honest, it's Miller Lite. You could find it pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. All right, bang, bang. Welcome to the mid-show. This is Eddie, Chief, White Sox Dave. Danny will be in shortly. Later on the show today, we'll be I'm all tongue-twisted. I don't know what's going on.
You all right?
You all right?
Probably not.
We're going to be joined by Joe Kelly today.
Thank you.
It was a great interview,
White
an
Sox
awesome interview. I was actually a little nervous for it because it's the first interview I've ever conducted solo, I believe.
What are you nervous for, though?
Well, it would have been different if it was Gio or like Carlos Rodon in years past because I know those guys a little bit. But Joe Kelly, I never said a word to, and it turned into an outstanding interview. Unfortunately,
Was some of the nerves because you've seen him like lash out at people on the field? He's kind of like that.
No. We talked about that, and it was an awesome interview. He was a complete open book. He's promoting his book. That's why he came on the show.
Good job, Dave.
Unfortunately, he is on the IL. I was about to say the DL. I caught myself. IL right now because he yoinked his groin. I like that word, by the way. Yoink.
It's like a Homer Simpson word.
He yoinked his groin running from the bullpen to the mound in a benches clearing hold me back that amounted to absolutely fucking nothing.
Sounds like a White Sox injury.
Sounds
With
like
all due respect to Joe Kelly.
With all due, yeah. I mean, if he was on the Dodgers still, or
He'd be fine, probably.
Yeah, he would have probably laid someone out and not gotten suspended, and it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But instead, he yoinked his groin.
So we'll get to all that. I actually want to talk about a tweet I fired off this past weekend that caught some traction in the Chicago sports world. Besides that, well, we could recap Tay's first game a little bit more in the red line segment, but I think you're a little calmed down more today, or
about the Hawks in general.
Yeah, maybe we could get more reflection on Tay. I don't know, whatever you feel.
Yeah, it's all about May 8th now. It's all about it's all about May 8th. Those ping pong balls.
Yeah,
the whole future is on ping pong.
We'll get into all of it. Also, big fight this weekend as well, and obviously the Chicago Cubs, who are just fucking good. We'll get into all. Before we do anything
awesome.
else,
I love when the baseball teams are good here.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's fun. You having fun, Dave?
I'm not having fun. It's the most miserable I've ever been as a sports fan.
Oh, come on.
It really is. This is unacceptable. It's embarrassing. It's pathetic, and the entire organization should feel great amount of shame for how they have started this season.
You know what? Fuck it, Dave. Let's do it right now. Let's get into the White Sox right now. How about that?
Yeah.
And I do your best not to say the J word.
Yeah.
Do your absolute best.
I feel like we should flip a coin.
Yeah.
And if the coin is heads, then you
Here,
can
how
talk
about
about
this?
Jerry. And if it's tails, you can't mention his name one
You
time.
guys ask me questions, and I will answer them.
Yeah, flip a coin.
Depths of my heart.
Jerry or no Jerry?
Who has a coin over there?
We got the U.S. Air Force coin somewhere on here.
It's not for broadcast, though, remember. Tom, you got a coin? Could you grab that quarter off my desk real quick? Thank you.
We need a coin.
Here.
Yeah.
Use that.
We
need to be fair. Like I don't trust the balance of this.
A nice coin.
Yeah.
No, that's
because this is an important subject.
Exactly. It is a very important subject.
Actually, that was a pretty good flip for me, I got to say.
Jerry or no Jerry may become the new hot segment of the show.
I like Jerry, no Jerry.
I thought you meant J word is
what other J words you thinking about?
I was going to say a South Park line, but you guys wouldn't have appreciated. I thought I muted this fucking computer.
All right,
No,
you ready?
it's
We'll
All right.
call
here we
it.
go.
Heads has to be Jerry, right?
Well, Dave will call it. What do you want? Which is Jerry?
I always called heads when I was the coin flipper.
Oh, it's a mistake.
Yeah, it is a mistake. But besides the point, what do you?
Heads.
Heads. Okay, so heads, you get to talk about Jerry.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean that doesn't count.
That's like the worst flip I've ever
doesn't
seen.
even
It's
count.
tails, so we got no Jerry.
That doesn't count.
What do you mean? It flipped.
No, it didn't.
You should be embarrassed by your coin
It
flip.
flipped.
That was the
Like,
worst.
we have that Arizona Bowl. Like, there might be a situation
flipped.
somewhere down the line where you're able to be like the coin flip guy.
It flipped.
Have you never flipped a coin before?
It flipped.
Pass that coin
You're
over here.
throwing it.
I got two.
Why are you moving your elbow?
This guy
That's
can't
it.
flip a coin.
I just
He
did
can't
it.
even flip a coin. He
I
can't
just-
flip a coin. He has the yips
I
about
just did
flipping.
it.
Pass that coin over here.
I just did it, you
This
dummy.
is
You flip it.
unbelievable.
I just did
Why
it.
are you? You're not doing your whole. You're like now. You're doing it on purpose.
No, he wasn't for a second
For the-
though.
Got it. I got it.
Is he trolling?
I think now he's.
No,
no one
he's-
flips. The
he's-
first few where like he was trying,
yes.
but then after that he's like, you don't flip with all five.
No, he's trying to
fingers.
make it seem like he was. There you go.
Oh, that was a good flip.
It's heads.
I don't know if we don't have.
That's
we
your
don't-
fault. No, I just did.
No, you didn't. Do it as best you can.
I
now.
get.
You threw the coin like sideways.
I get. No, I mean,
You're supposed to develop torque and
Here's-
tension
here-
with the thumb
listen,
and index
listen,
finger, and
listen.
then you let
This
it
is-
go.
time out. At the end of the day, if the coin does rotations, it's a successful flip.
If someone did this in the Super Bowl, if
They
someone
have a big coin. That's not even a thing.
If someone did
They
that
could
in the
just
Super
throw
Bowl,
it.
catch it.
that person
I
would
mean,
get
we might have to
roasted
do like
until
the
end
Eddie
of time.
challenge with just like basic things. Can Eddie flip a coin?
That was good. That was good.
Shoving your hand up.
Look at that.
That was better. Practice makes
That's a
perfect,
good
I
flip.
guess.
But he did like his whole. He's using his. It's just your thumb.
I didn't learn this in school.
I don't. Anyways,
I don't even know where we're
I
at
got the
anymore.
successful outcome, and you didn't. So who was the real winner?
We don't have to talk about Jerry. I've said that 5 times.
okay. Well, let's not talk about Jerry. Jerry.
All right.
But that was. I mean, I'm stunned by you. Can you like, if you're chewing bubble gum, can
He
you blow a
had gum
bubble?
in this morning. I could smell it as he walked
But
in.
can you blow a bubble? Like, I'm trying to think of like all the menial tasks that now I like question everything.
Can you walk? Like if you were
have
on
walked.
any more unathletic, I would say you can't.
But like a
physically
coin flip
walk.
is not
How
even
is a
athletic.
coin flip
thing.
athletic?
It's like anyone can.
It's like the most basic type of motor function you can have. It's flicking your thumb up.
I don't know about
And you were
that.
going like Spider-Maning.
I've never been good at thumb-based sports. Like I'm not a good lighter guy.
I'm not a good lighter guy
You
either,
want
if
to
I'm
thumb
being
wrestle
honest.
right now?
Yeah, do a thumb wrestle. White Sox Dave challenge.
No, you're gonna. Oh, got him! Got
So
him!
you have to do
Got
1, 2,
him.
3, 4. I declare a
Got
thumb
him.
war.
Who said that?
That's
It's a
how every
fucking
thumb wrestle ever
All right, fine.
has ever.
He knows it too.
Yeah.
It was a sneak attack.
It was a silent count. Quarterback sneak and a silent snap.
Wow. All right. Anyways,
All right.
You guys ask me questions on the White Sox, and I'll answer them.
Is Lance
Otherwise,
Lynn
it's-
washed?
No, I don't think he's washed. I think he's not as good as he was 2 years ago, but washed, no. I do think that the pitch clock hit, like in his first start against Houston, I noticed he was laboring. Obviously, Lance Lynn, he ain't doing fucking treadmill work. I don't think he is. You know, he's not doing cardio. And like every 20 seconds, he would get the ball back in the first, second inning, and he was huffing and puffing because he's not used to that pace. That's not something I took into account at all heading into this season. And to your point, for guys like Cease and Giolito, I think it's going to be a benefit to them.
has it been a benefit to Gio?
Yeah, Gio's been very good the last 2 starts. His last start was like 85% vintage Gio. And I'm hoping he gets back to like the 2019-2020 Gio.
Cy Young contender Gio.
Exactly, but his last start, he was dotting I's with 3-4 pitches, and his fastball had that life. And when I describe life, like if you're watching a pitcher on TV, some pitchers it'll say 97, you're like, man, it doesn't look like he's throwing that hard. Some pitchers are 94, 95, and it's like that guy's fastball is much better. You can see it physically when the pitch is going from fingertips to catcher mitt, like on TV. And Gio's last start, he absolutely had that. Now, will he have that 28, 29 other times? I don't know. I hope so. I said it last week. He's better than what he was his first 2 starts. He's better than that, and it pissed me off that these and I'm not just Gio, but Lynn and Kopech too. These guys are fucking better than this. Gio's had a good start against, I think was it Pittsburgh, whoever it was, 2 starts ago. His start 2 nights ago, excellent. It was command a hair off, only got through 6, but the shit was there. That's what I'm looking for, the shit. Throw Clevenger out the window. I think Clevenger looks fine. Kopech, Lynn, and Gio, those guys they're fucking better than this, and they got to pitch better. Gio and Lynn, or Kopech and Lynn especially.
What's wrong with Kopech?
He's not throwing as hard. Like, he'll touch 98 every 5 fastballs, but like, he's not a pitcher that can be 95, 96 because he's going to get teed off on. He needs to be that 98, 99 mile an hour guy, because that just, as a 2-pitch pitcher, it heightens his margin for error. He has a lot more of it when he's, reaching triple digits here and there. And it makes his slider all that much better, because they're going to have to guess fastball.
Yeah.
And if they guess fastball, get slider, it's going to be a swing and a miss pitch.
Is this like something that's fundamentally wrong with him, or do you think this is just like it's April and he's easing into the season?
Kopech?
Yeah.
I can't answer that. I don't know the answer to that. Okay. I would hope, like, I expected the pitchers and the entire team to have such a sour taste in their mouth that they hit the ground running this year. I hope it's just April jitters and, they go on a tear. I don't see that happening necessarily. Maybe, kind of, sort of.
Okay, because that's my next question, because I feel like they're 7-12 now. Mm-hmm. Okay, they're sitting in 4th place. Between now and May 4th, they play Tampa 3 times, Toronto 3 times. Both of those are on the road.
Yep.
Tampa 4 times at home, and then the Twins at home, who are currently in first place.
Yeah, they got a fucking tough schedule coming up.
What does their record have? If they play at this clip, is the season over?
Oh yeah, it's over. It's over.
You're done by Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, it's over. So these guys got to get their fucking heads out of their ass and play better baseball, because they're better baseball players than this. And we were talking meathead takes last week. These guys are fucking better than this. Like, I don't want to hear, there's no excuses for, you didn't want to talk about Reinsdorf. Reinsdorf's not in the dugout. Tony La Russa is not the scapegoat in the dugout anymore. It's up to you guys. Like, 1 through 26, talent-wise, like, I saw a tweet yesterday. I think it was Jay Kuda who had it, but I could be wrong there. Mercado was the top overall prospect in baseball. Robert was number 2. He would have been number 1 if they would have waited a few weeks because of graduations and all that shit. Kopech was the best. I want to say Giolito was the first overall rated prospect. You got Andrew Vaughn through
the hype machine around Kopech when we went.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Right.
And he's shown flashes of that. Like, even last year against the Yankees, he had a no-hitter going into the 7th, I think it was, with like 12 strikeouts. Didn't, obviously, but he was just fucking dummying, like, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, like, all those guys. Go be that guy start to start every 5 days. You can't be just like, okay, we're going to ride out April. You can't do that. You guys aren't good enough to do that because the depth isn't there. Mm-hmm. You guys have to take your fucking God-given talents and go and shove the ball down the throat and go and fucking hit bombs. I know it's like, it's such a meathead thing to say, but like I said last week, I really think each and every player on this team is better than they would. There are a few exceptions to that.
Who's playing well?
Someone that I think is playing very well, Sebi Zavala. He's probably hitting 200 right now. But he's doing his exact job that I would want from a backup catcher, calling a great game, controlling the running game. He's got that weird power.
Can I say something that's a problem, though? If I ask you who's playing well and you lead with the backup catcher, that's a fucking problem, dude.
Vaughn's hitting okay.
He hit one yesterday.
Yeah,
right?
He hit one yesterday. He's hitting fine. He's hitting very well if you look at like all the advanced stats. His power hasn't been there. You're a first baseman. You can't play first base defensively very well at all. You need to hit 30 fucking bombs. I don't care what your weighted run created plus is. Go and hit 30 fucking bombs because that's what you were drafted third overall to do. That's what you were pegged as coming out of Cal after winning the equivalent of the Heisman Trophy, the Golden Spikes, as I think it was a sophomore. He won it, or a junior, whatever year he won it at Cal. Like Moncada, who fucking knows it? This guy, his back's still sore. They don't know if he's going to be back for the Tampa series. They're saying doubtful. Like these guys are so much better than this, and they got to be better.
Are the White? Is there a contingency here where the White Sox might just be unlucky?
In what manner?
Like I don't know. You see where like
you create your own luck, Ed.
Certain guys turn it on at certain points.
I do
and
feel
then,
like baseball. It's like
like
I'm smoking the ball like my
right at people.
Yeah. Like
for
for
sure.
sure. Like years ago, I remember we talked about like Jorge Soler. He had a season. He was like not doing well at all, and like there's these advanced metrics where like
but his batted.
Yeah. And that's a genuine question. I don't know. Like I'm not insinuating anything. That was a straight up question.
I'm throwing stats for the most part completely out the window, and I'm judging them based on how they look. Just how they look. Like if Gio or Lance Lynn tonight, or they're off tonight, tomorrow goes and throws a complete game shutout, and they're still 91-92 with like two pitches, one of which they have extreme trouble controlling, I'm going to be like,
this is a problem.
This is a problem.
Yeah.
You know?
I have a meathead question for you.
Go ahead. I love meathead questions.
It feels like they have an attitude problem, like maybe a void in leadership problem. Do they miss Abreu in that role?
I mean, they had these problems last year.
I suppose I put that on La Russa. I just mean like it feels like.
I don't think there's a leadership problem. I think these guys got to dig deep and grow ball sacks and fucking play better baseball.
Yeah, okay.
They're adults. Like, what leadership? Like, everyone's like, oh, Lurie was good. It's like, how many fucking good guys do you need?
But it doesn't
They're
matter.
all good guys. They're all good dudes.
Well, you might need an asshole.
You might need an asshole. I thought that was Lance Lynn.
See, I don't agree with you at all about
are.
that, Dave. It doesn't matter if you have all the money in the world, if you have all the talent in the world. If you're not motivated, you're not motivated. And if you need someone to light that fire, like sometimes people do.
But
like, look at the Bulls. The Bulls were dog shit until like Pat Bev. They played their best like 20 game stretch, and he was like really getting people's asses. Like that shit matters.
That shit
matters.
I'm not
Some
saying
guys
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, some people just don't have that personal spark.
Yeah.
They don't.
I would say that's Mikata.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I was kind of referring to last week. And I'm like, go be selfish. Go play for yourselves. Like, whatever that spark is to get the best version of you out of yourself, go and do it.
Yeah.
And if there is no leader in the clubhouse, I don't know if there is or isn't. I choose to believe that a group of veterans and adults don't.
Everybody's too safe. Everybody's got a long contract.
Now,
that's not true.
Who? I mean, Moncada.
This is Gio's last year.
Yeah, but like.
Then he's a free agent. Lynn, he's a free agent.
But
like
Robert, all your
the young guys,
players,
for sure.
all your young players. That's supposed to be your core that play every day.
Full coffee.
Yeah, that's a dangerously full.
I know.
Coffee.
I got my eye on it.
I don't know.
I've been eyeballing it.
I don't know. Look, you could see it in the camera shot how full that thing is. It's above the brim, Dave. But here's the thing: at what point, like this guy, this guy? Let me tell you about this guy. This prospect. At what point are you going to get to that section where it's like, hey, he is what he is,
and he's not a prospect.
He's
anymore.
not good. He's just not very good.
I'm starting to get there with Eloy. Obviously, completely worthless defensively and on the bases. Like that's a guy that he needs to hit 300 and hit 30 bombs. He's got no bombs. He's hitting probably sub 200. His at bats look atrocious. And this is a guy they were like comparing to Miguel Cabrera and shit like that. Like a guy who can, at the same time, contend for batting titles and home run titles. That's literally comparisons that the experts made. That's not me saying that's what I saw him.
He has 8 hits on the year.
He stinks right now.
Yeah.
He fucking stinks right now. And it's got to change. Something needs to click with these guys. I don't know if it's what Griffel's doing. By all accounts, like with Cats and everything with the walk issues, those kind of subsided a little bit over the weekend, or over these past few games.
Series, yeah.
Like by all accounts, they're all working hard, but like it's got to click for you guys. Like, go and be better because you guys are better than this. Like I'm not trying to say it's like a conscious decision you can make. But that's kind of what I'm saying.
I just wonder if they are better than this.
That's a fair question.
I mean, Eloy's 26.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, it's not like he's...
I know. These guys aren't young anymore.
You're right.
They're not young anymore.
Yeah.
And it's hard because you did see that, the Houston series, and that was it's sad if that becomes their peak. It's very sad.
No, I know. It's
very sad.
I like after that series is over, I'm like,
it's
That's
crazy.
why
to take off.
I'll never forget that moment of you in that kitchen right there with the 108 guys. And you're like, hey, this is just the beginning. Like, that's all we got to know about. Like, whatever happens, like, this is just the start. Like, no worries, no sweat, no pressure. Like, this is one of many. And I was like, guys, I don't know if it works that way.
You know what? I'm starting to. I feel like this excuse is coming, and it's going to make your head explode. I feel like there will be people who be like, with Eloy and some of these guys, COVID killed their development. They didn't get the games, the at-bats.
They say that about Makata still.
Yeah,
because he got it in 2020.
No, I just mean like, hey, things were shut down. You couldn't train. You couldn't get at bats. You couldn't, because Eloy's best year was his rookie year.
Oh, he was awesome.
He was, So it's like,
I remember it was Hubs tweeted he hit 2 home runs in the same game. It was early in his rookie year. And Hubs was like, please stop fucking pitching Eloy Jimenez. Like in all caps.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yep, here we go.
So, I mean, year over year, 31 bombs, 14 bombs.
That said, he was fucking awesome the second half of last year. Go look up his numbers in the
second half.
If you can figure out how to filter it, he hit like 315 with like a 400 on base and it was like a home run every 12 at bats or something. Yeah. And that's what he needs to be. I know it's in there. It's not. You just said he's 26 years old. Go and fucking be that player. Stop swinging at shit off the plate and go and drop dick on the ball. That is actually a conscious decision, whether or not you choose to swing or don't swing. He swings at pitches at his eyes, in the dirt, off the plate, on his fists. And when he gets a pitch down the middle, he doesn't do anything with it other than either swing through it or beat it into the ground. Go and be better. Go and be better. Bummer, he needs to be better. All these guys need to be fucking better. And they should take it upon themselves. They don't have any excuse for this. Any excuse at all.
You wish you knew you were in the good old days while they were happening.
But those good old days were like, they weren't good. Like they had one playoff win from this group. Like
two. They beat Oakland once.
Yeah.
In the COVID year. That doesn't fucking count.
I know.
Yeah.
I got to pose a question. I'm going to open this up a little bit because I think this is a good discussion. So my question was, I posted this right after the Bulls got bounced by the Heat. And I said, at this point, Karnisovas, the honeymoon's so over. Mm-hmm. Is he considered the worst GM in Chicago?
Oh, Sox fans want Hans head
Sox
right now.
fans showed up in droves with their torches and their, the barbed wired bats. And they were screaming at me about how Rick Hahn, and it's a no contest. And I was like, all right, I get it. But to me, I always say that. I think Rick Hahn is a patsy in some respects.
Yeah, he is.
Because he can't do what he exactly wants to do. However, a decade is a decade. Right?
Yeah, no, that's
the
very fair. It's very fair. I don't think that if they were to fire him, anything would change because by all accounts, they would just promote Chris Getz to the GM and kick Hahn upstairs like they've done on both organizations 1,000 times.
How many offices are upstairs?
I don't know. He's probably got an unlimited amount of fucking.
Got a lot of high-rise
so like
office space.
what really changes? Because it's not like Chris Getz, and when Chris Getz got hired as the director of player development for the farm system, I got a few people reach out to me and they're like, "That's a grand slam hire," and like non-White Sox affiliated people, like you're like this guy, he's really bright guy. You're good. They did the right thing here. These guys haven't developed, so like I don't know.
How
he's
long
going to be
been in
failing.
that role?
5 years maybe.
Okay,
6
but
years?
that's like all those guys can't. I feel like
They don't have much of a minor league system.
not
right now.
No, you're right. But it is one of those things where it's like you had all these high draft picks, and they developed to the point where you were excited about them because they came through the system. Like Lewis Robert, like all those guys coming through performed at lower levels.
Yeah.
And then they get here, and then it's like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an answer for that. But in the end, like,
Good throw.
Chris Getz, he's a Michigan guy, smart guy probably. I don't know him at all.
Listen, we spend a lot of time in the White Sox in this show. Let's kind of open this
so
up.
who do you think? What do you think the answer is?
I'm going to answer the question right now. Rick Hahn didn't really have a choice this year because they weren't going to sign anybody to fucking replace these bums that are overpaid because of the pre-arbitration contracts they were given. Tim Anderson, who hasn't been a bum, obviously he's hurt, but Eloy, Robert looks like complete shit right now.
We know
you can't trade them. The only choice he had was to bank on health and to bank on them being the best version of themselves they can be, because their record would be 12-7 right now if that was the case. It's not, though. It's the opposite. And so, I mean, these guys don't have any trade value. Nobody wants to fucking move for these guys. So what was he going to do?
Well, I think the other option, and it's like there's no perfect answer. You don't give them those deals. Like, you have to make them earn it. Like, those guys didn't really earn it.
No, neither did Tim Anderson when he got his. Neither did Jose Quintana. Neither did Chris Sale. Neither did Adam Eaton. So the track record for success was all there with pre-arbitration contracts. They hit home runs on all those deals.
And it's actually remarkable how happy people were at the time.
Exactly.
Considering where they are now. Hindsight is very 20/20 with those deals. And that's where I say, like, it's almost like there's a little bit of bad luck there because everything just seemed so perfect.
It did.
It seems so perfect for sure.
It really did. It's not.
Well, but like the other piece of that equation, and this where it goes back to like the Jerry thing, where it's like if you sign all these guys, well then you have some theoretically the financial flexibility to go spend in a big way on these free agents that become available because you have these other guys locked in. And it's like, but then it becomes like an albatross if those guys don't perform.
Right.
And that's where they are.
And
I remember we used to compare them. Like, it'd be like, man, like I really wish the Cubs would have done this with Chris Bryant, or they would have done this with all the before.
Yeah.
And then it was like they just can't afford these guys, and like Cubs got to rebuild, and like kind of what a disappointment it was to only get the one with that core. Like you thought it'd be around forever. Now you're looking back, be like, that worked out pretty great,
dude.
Yeah, and that's why I tell people all the time, like, how could Chris Sale, like, that's such a team friendly deal. Why would he sign that? This is why, because there's no track record, and the teams are gambling that you're gonna be who you flash you have been for the duration of that contract. That's why those are always player friendly deals. And like,
let me ask one more question, then let's get to
others.
Let's get some other GMs here.
Yeah.
Let's get them in the mix.
Well,
he did want to spend on Harper or Machado, right? He wasn't allowed to, from what you heard.
No, he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what I'm putting out there, where it's like I think he's very hamstrung, and I know there are other cons on.
Now
Rick
he has completely fucked up a lot of things on a micro level. Elvis, we were talking about leadership. Elvis Andrus typically plays very clean baseball. He does the right things baseball-wise. He's not very good anymore. He's still a good defensive player, which is fine for who should be a backup. But it's like you're paying him a few $1 million when you could have had Rami Gonzalez, Lennon Sosa, and Danny Mendick playing for $700,000 this year.
Yeah.
The three, why are you wasting resources? Then you got the bullpen, who has been just an utter fucking embarrassment so far this year. That $44 million of the payroll, which is about a quarter of it, I want to say, which is by far the most resources dedicated to a bullpen with respect to the rest of the team's payroll in baseball. It's by far. Obviously, Hendricks, you can't. He's
whatever,
$15 million, so you can't really.
How do you feel about his draft? Like now, I look back like that Madrigal pick, and it's like
that pick always completely fucking sucked. I hated it from the day they made it.
You were always
but it's like that's ultimately Han too.
Yeah,
like I don't know who was somebody that was.
What's his face from Racine? I saw him play in high school, and I was like, that kid's gonna be the first overall pick. He was 6 overall. Jared Kalenic he's lighting it up for Seattle right now.
Yeah,
he had like 5 or 6 against the Cubs. I almost hit the fucking scoreboard.
Dude.
Yeah.
So here's what I think. I think obviously I know that Karnisovas is the president and Eversley is the GM, but it's
buck stops somewhere.
It's like Theo. He was the GM.
Correct.
Right.
I think this is a monster offseason for them. Like make or break kind of shit. Because
for the Bulls?
Yes. Make or break kind of shit.
Do you give him any leeway because of Lonzo? or no?
Sure, yes, of course. Like they're in first place, he goes down, and
Yeah, I don't think that team was ever winning a title, but I think that
correct.
they were a much better looking team with him in the mix.
Correct, but like there's some. I mean, looking now about Markkanen being an all-star, and listen, Markkanen didn't really want to be here.
Yeah,
he also
but that was a coach issue though too.
Correct.
Yeah,
and he probably always needed a change of scenery to like really like figure out who, you know what I mean? Much like one of these White Sox players will be gone and they will be a star somewhere else. I'm sure.
Probably.
Oh, well,
yes.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Like maybe that's like the Lauri Markkanen story for one of these White Sox guys, Eloy or whoever. But this Vooch trade, like, and like
Carter's looking, and then all the draft picks.
They got the Magic using on Franz Wagner. Like, who's to say that we don't, that we pick him regardless? He still looks like a really good pro. And they get to win this year unless if we get a top 4 pick magically, which is
unlikely.
A 1 point something percent chance, 1.5% chance to get the number 1 overall. No. But, I mean, you look at that Vooch trade, man. And at the time, everyone was like, like, for benefit of the doubt, like no blinders on, like nothing can go wrong. And I was like, oh, nice, we're competitive again. For fucking what, And I know if we don't get him, we don't get DeRozan, but still, it's a pretty fucking team floundering decision that was made to make that deal.
I know.
It really was.
I do feel like the NBA is the hardest sport to win big. So I'd
agree.
So if you're on a personal, like, only speaking for myself, I was really getting sick of just being like, this team's just in the lottery picking 6th or 7th every single year. Every single fucking year. And so like I was kind of ready to be like, you know what, like at least be competent and see what you can cobble together. And it just hasn't worked. But it's like, would you rather be a 4 seed, which I feel like is their ceiling probably in the East, and have fun during the season and then maybe win a playoff round? Or do you want to just be fucking floundering forever hoping to win the lottery in the right year?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the NBA. Like, you have to get a guy like Victor Wembanyama who, like, changes a franchise.
Yeah.
You have to get someone who's just going to completely reshape how – and I know drafting's hard and there's no sure bets, but once in a while, a unicorn comes.
Yeah.
And this is a year where, like, who knows? What could I – but –
Can I say something about that Wembanyama? I'm sure he'll be like a superstar. When I watch highlights of him, I'm like, this guy looks awkward as fuck. Like
he's 7'2".
Yeah,
I think he
shoots
I think he might be 7'4".
How do you spell his last name again?
Wembanyama.
7'5". He's bigger than that.
He's 7'4", right?
I saw him listed as 7'2".
Okay,
but I could be very. He's over fucking 7 foot tall.
Yeah, and he like has guard skills.
Correct.
But he's like skinny, and like when he dunks, it looks like, because his arms are so long, like when he dunks, it doesn't even look like he jumps. He just looks like he just kind of like gets like 6 inches and then like pushes the ball down. Yeah. So he's like an awkward. I'm sure he'll be amazing, but like when I watch like he doesn't look like Giannis used to look. Like Giannis was oh, fuck, like that. He doesn't.
He's proportional. He's yoked up. And
yeah.
Giannis is legitimately Superman.
Yeah,
like
he's
7'2". Yeah. Well, you got any thoughts on this, Lance? I know you're following closely, but it's tough, man. It's tough. It's a big offseason.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Like with the Bulls, like it's unfortunate. Like when we got Vooch, I was so excited, but then he seemed to like age the moment after his like half season here. He just like got so old so fast.
That happens in like every sport, I feel like.
Yeah, it didn't happen to DeRozan though. DeRozan almost got like a rejuvenation here on the Bulls, so that was sick. Wembanyama is 7'2", just looked it up.
Okay.
But and also like Giannis, when he first got in the league, he was awkward too. He was skinny, and there was even a quote he said that he was just like not eating enough food. He was like when I was gone, I was just not eating enough food. So I could see like Wemby coming in and being an absolute monster as well.
Wemby, I like that.
That's like a little nickname they're calling him as Wemby. But yeah, for the Bulls, I don't really know what to do. Like Lonzo, if he comes back, who even knows if he's going to be good? He's been out for so long. I'm just praying the Bulls get like Kevin Durant somehow. Like Kevin Durant is going to be like, I need a new super team, and he's I want to be with DeRozan. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
I feel like they're stuck.
That's what I was going to say. We're in like basketball purgatory. Like, how do you escape? It's really tough.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I acknowledge how fucking hard it is to win in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, I acknowledge it's not an easy job, but it just didn't seem like that's a move you make when you're close. And we just weren't close.
And
it is kind of a choose your own adventure with like, all right, Lonzo, how much do you put in? Sure, if you want to like dive into that and be like, he was the focal point. He was vital. We needed him to make this engine run. I'll buy it, sure. But at some point,
I wonder what the bottom line was for the Bulls, like financially. Like if Jerry was just like, man, like we're starting to not turn as much of a profit. Nobody's watching.
Oh, no,
they're number one in attendance.
Yeah.
Well, they have the biggest stadium. So, but it's like there's a difference between paid attendance and then who actually shows up too.
They're doing just fine.
Yeah, I think they're
financially.
doing
Yeah.
well.
Okay. Yeah. That's. It was a question. I was wondering if it got like in those dark days, if it was like they saw it in like their analytics being like, we need to get back in the playoffs a little bit.
How does it work with?
Maybe.
So do the Bulls in Reinsdorf? Do they lease the United
I think
Center?
they share it. I think it's like they both like co-own it. I'm pretty sure.
Co-own it.
I think
Them
so.
the Hawks.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
They do.
Cause,
Yeah.
They co-own it. Yeah, the Wirtzes and the Reinsdorfs.
yeah. So they're caking. He's only paying half rent.
Yeah.
He's got John Mayer coming twice this year.
I think it was like 4 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they got the smoke out. They're caking.
Yeah. They do.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's very tough. I don't know what
It's a sad state. Well, the Cubs.
And that's
honestly,
where I really want to give this guy his flowers, and it's Jed Hoyer. Holy fuck.
you gotta
dude.
understand that the A's are the worst.
No.
team.
Dave, I'm not talking about this past series this weekend. I'm talking about you look around the league and like so many people were angry and upset and sad about the people he let walk.
Yep.
He looks smarter every single day.
Yeah,
Every single
and
day.
those guys.
I mean, that Javi fucking play.
Oh my God, dude, he
Good
is.
Lord.
Yeah.
I really,
he's a fucking
off of
disaster.
that Cubs core. I would say Javi Baez was probably. I loved Anthony Rizzo as a player. Javi Baez was like, I loved watching him play because he was electric.
It was like
It
a Barry Sanders, Deion Sanders kind of like star where he like the plays he was making is like you've never seen it before.
he is so bad.
I don't know what happened to him. Like he
So bad.
did he finish like second in MVP?
Yeah, to not Bellinger. What's his face? Milwaukee.
Yelich.
Yelich. Yeah. And a lot of people said he should have won it that year.
Yeah.
But that was always a very bad deal by Detroit. They're going to DFA him like 3 years into the deal. He's so bad.
Yeah. Well, and then, but like about your thing with the A's, like you want good teams to beat the fuck out of a team like that. And they did.
They did.
They swept them on the road, and that was coming off of winning 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. I think they're like, what's their record now? 11-6, something like
Who,
that?
the Cubs?
Yeah.
11-7.
Yeah.
11-6.
11-6, yeah. Right now, as it stands, it's basically on the team's records over 500. It's the best division of baseball too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, them and the Pirates.
Yeah, no,
and
they're
the Brewers
they're
are all
playing
fighting.
Yeah.
energetic, fun, like a brand of baseball that I would have fun cheering for. I couldn't
is
even
fun.
watch them the last week because I see that, and they're not winning anything of significance this year. I don't think. Maybe the division, because I don't think that division is actually any good.
That would be of significance.
No, I of course it would be,
Yeah.
but
Totally
For a
It's
team that
it's
was
either
like
you
projected
win it
to win
all or
78.
you don't.
Yeah. No, I know, but like
But-
it just speeds up. Like this was always supposed to be like a building year. You're
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Right.
And they're a better team than the team that should be in their fucking window.
Yeah.
It makes me sick to the point where I can't even watch the Cubs.
And they got
Patrick Wisdom is first in home runs,
he's
first in
unbelievable. He's
slugging.
crushing the ball.
He's got 8.
He has 8. Yes,
8?
he's tied with Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
with 8. First and second, third in OPS. Like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
dude's just
he's
smashed.
yeah.
Yeah.
They find guys.
Horner looks
Corners
awesome.
leading the league in stolen base.
Yep.
Like, dude, it's fucking weird. Like how this
Yeah.
team has like formed.
Magic Girl's been dog shit though, right?
But like he's like a guy who doesn't play every day. You know, it's like who cares? Like almost like once Suzuki was back, then and Bellinger's been really good. Bellinger like
he's really stepped it up out of that first weekend.
Yeah, the first weekend it was like, oh
Yeah,
fuck.
it
Now
was,
he looks
12.
he looks like a very competent
he's
center
hitting.
fielder. He had like a great play in center field, running down a ball in Oakland. There, and it's like Hendricks is coming back. He pitched I think 3 innings of a simulated game earlier this week, and so it's like you bring Hendricks back. You said I think last week where it's like you slot everybody down. Hendricks might just be your 4. And like it's and then Wisniewski, like he looked better. Like they have a lot of things going for them. I guess their BABIP is like due for a correction a little bit. Like I think Dansby's like hitting like 564 balls in play. It's something like absurd.
Yeah, he'll plummet.
Yeah,
but
I don't know about plummet, but like he's.
I mean,
that's gonna correct.
If it's that high,
that'll correct itself.
Right.
But like but his line drive rate is also super high. So
we're gonna look that up right now.
Yeah,
there we go, Dave.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know. It's better than anybody expected. So it's super fun. It's like there's no real downside because there were no.
He's pretty much shitting on the ball, so it won't correct itself that much if he keeps shitting on the ball.
No bombs though either. Like he has no home runs on the year.
Who gives a shit?
Fucking
hit the ball hard. The home runs will come.
Yeah,
not me. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how Hendricks is when he gets back.
Yeah.
Like if we could just get any old semblance, like that's gonna fucking go.
It
big
matters.
For us,
yeah,
for sure. It's legitimately awesome. Like
it's awesome.
It's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
it's a pleasant surprise.
It's probably really nice, isn't it?
Yeah. And then
it's hard because Dave, we sat here yesterday and we had the Sox game on and we just looked at each other. We're like, man, that's a bad team. We flipped on the Cubs.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what a good team and a bad team looks like.
Yeah,
right.
Throw stats and players. Watching a game,
so much of it is energy.
Yeah,
and if you're not hitting, you're gonna look like you're playing half-assed. That's just the perception. But do you know what I mean by that? Like,
yeah.
These guys aren't trying to be bad. They're just not adjusting at all. All the adjustments that I said after the Astros series, I'm like, those are very fixable.
So I put them on
overnight fixes.
Yeah, but it's like you watch, like it's like a lack of discipline, and it's like plate discipline. Like everything just looks harder than it should be for them. Like I don't know. It's just they're a hard team to watch. The Cubs are an easy team to watch.
Yeah,
and that's kind of that's the big difference.
It's so bad that they're the last thing I think about when I go to bed, and the first thing I wake up and think about. It's just
Dave,
anger.
I am like, historically, I've been a guy that I like to see you mad and angry and like disappointed. Like it's fun for me. But like it's so bad that it's getting to the point where like it bothers me that it bothers you so much. I'm sad.
I'm with you there because I like seeing people fucking suffering because I suffer. But
I have a confession.
What's that?
The last couple nights, I just strictly searched at Barstool WSD.
I'm sure you have. And every time I fucking send a tweet like that, I do so knowing that you're going to see it and bring it up later on.
We pull it up. I think it was like
I think
it just said like I'm frustrated or something. Like
disappointed.
I'm just like it was just.
It is. It's disappointing.
Yeah.
But like that.
It's hard because I honestly
throw that stuff out of the way. If that team was just cruising to division title, you know how good that'd be for this office.
I can't even watch baseball right now.
I can't. I can't do it.
The
My favorite thing on earth is watching MLB Net just 24 hours a day. Have it on in the background when I'm like working during the day, or have it on at night and I'm intently watching it. Just having it on. I can't put it on right now because I have to find distractions because the White Sox piss me off that much.
Yeah.
And
no, I get it, Dave.
Like I said, if they were really fucking good, that'd be really good for this office. I can't even put a fucking T-shirt out right now because I'm embarrassed to push that to people and ask people for money for it.
Yeah, I mean,
the Fire Jerry shirts or jerseys or whatever, they'll come out at the end of this year.
Do you see this?
Guys,
I did say I'm giving him till May 15th, and that still holds true, but it does not look good.
I kind of feel like May 15th is too late if they keep at this clip, especially with like if you get swept by the Twins in that series.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
They're gonna have to go on some like historic run after that.
Did you see this Jeff Passan report?
How recent?
Today. So Shohei Ohtani could be traded and will definitely leave the Angels.
That.
So Jerry gonna.
No. I wouldn't put it past him to empty the farm for Shohei.
I mean, the Cubs should be
as a prayer
really
and then not re-signing him.
Shohei.
Yeah, they should.
I really believe that.
They shouldn't trade for him.
I would prefer to be signed. Yes.
Yeah. I don't think the Cubs are in a position to trade.
To give up. Yeah.
Why not though?
Because
what would it take? That would be my question.
Oh my God. I don't even want to know.
Well, like, who would you have to peel off your major league roster to get him? Is my question.
not Dansby. I would say off the major league roster, definitely Horner. But Horner plus Pete Crow Armstrong. It would be like you got to remember though. This is 2 players we're talking about.
No, I know.
A fucking Cy Young and a fucking MVP.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, take what you got for Chris Sale, and then what did I'm trying to think off the top of my head. What did LA get for Trey Turner?
Alcantara, Brennan Davis, Matt Murray. You're gonna clean out the whole fucking.
Yeah. So
but I think if you don't have to,
they have to. Someone's gonna.
No. But if you don't have to give up one of your major league roster pieces, like if you just give them fucking. They can own the Iowa Cubs. Just give them fucking.
Just give them the Iowa Cubs.
Yeah, you own the we don't have
basically.
Yeah, and
you would have to
give them whatever because like you said, if your outfield is going to be Happ, Shohei, Suzuki for the foreseeable future.
I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Suzuki's
presence. Yeah, I'm sure it's some comfort
but
level.
But that kind of with how good this team has been, you add a guy like that, and it's like. You might be he might be the difference.
You're not going to empty out. No. The Cubs should not trade for him because then you might not.
I actually
empty it out.
That report is bad. I don't want them to trade him. We want to be in the sweepstakes.
Yeah.
I hope that
the
Angels don't trade. I mean that GM too.
Oh.
I mean you want to talk about
bad GMs,
but just in general, you need to. If you don't get value back from that, you are fucked.
Yeah.
He is fucked.
It's not even like the.
Do you want to talk about good GMs in the city?
Well, that's fucking money value because that guy draws a crowd.
Yeah,
to watch him play.
Oh yeah. Well, let's get to Joe Kelly now. I think this is a good time to get to Joe.
And we'll have positive vibes after that.
Yeah, exactly. We have all split that out. And before we get to Joe though, obviously, hey, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and please buy a beef kit. Right, jpgraziano.com, tasterealchicago.com. You can go find these. Beef kits. Listen, you guys know the drill. Italian beef. It comes with a bottle of mezzo giardiniera and a bottle of Italian beef seasoning. All you got to do is buy the meat, the broth, and the buns, and you're ready to go. You got a meal for.
And you go see your mom for Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. Bring this out. Be like, hey, I'm taking care of it.
Yeah.
Put it in the crock pot. Get there in the morning, and it is so easy. Everybody loves it. It's the absolute best.
It is.
You don't have to limit it. Either to, I'm sure you could do it with chicken. We haven't tried it with chicken, but chicken would be fine.
I've done it. I've done it with a pork butt. I've done it with all sorts of things. Like that you could do stuff it with fucking slaps.
Yeah, and it's affordable. $13.
Yeah,
give it a shot.
Yep.
Give it a go. It's you could not be a cook at all, and you could figure this thing out.
It's dummy.
It's
proof.
easy. Exactly.
Yeah.
So go do that. It's definitely worth it. TasteFulChicago.com. Get your muffaletta there as well. Amongst any other JP Graziano item, the Mr.
Their merch is cool too.
Yeah,
I tell you something I've been doing with it. I've been just spreading the muff on toast, and and that is you just chomp. It's just fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mix it in with eggs. Is that allowed, Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're in a pinch.
I put it on sandwiches. I use the muff on everything. I love giardiniera, but for sandwiches, I like how it's more of a jam consistency.
I agree with you.
Muffaletta.
I agree with you on that. So go check it out, TasteFulChicago.com, and of course 901 West Randolph. Get your subs. All right, let's get to White Sox reliever Joe Kelly.
All right, we are in the interview portion of today's show. We're joined by Sox relief pitcher Joe Kelly. Joe, thank you for hopping on. We're deep in the bowels of Camelback Ranch right now. We were going to do the interview in our minivan out in the parking lot, and once we got the minivan, I was like, this is an awful idea, so here we are. Thanks for hopping on. You signed last year right after the lockout, correct?
Correct, yeah.
So that's kind of what we're going to start about. So we're talking about your book. I'm about halfway through it. You don't get a lot of, unbridled, a lot of athletes don't want to put their words to thoughts considering the time and era we live in with social media and all that. A lot of things can be misconstrued. What drove you to write a book?
I'm trying to stir the pot. No, I mean it's something that me and my co-author Rob Bradford, I've said some crazy shit throughout my career, which I don't think is crazy. Just other people be like, why did you say that? It's like I mean, this is how I talk to my 7-year-old who's sitting over there around the corner. So I was gonna write a book with him, obviously when I was done playing baseball, right? Because I didn't have time. I have 3 kids. I'm about to have my 4th.
Congrats.
Thank you. And the lockout happened. And the lockout, which was a weird time for everybody. You know, me being from LA, just got done playing with the Dodgers. I coached travel ball. I coached, did some football. But every time I would leave the house, being from that area, it was nonstop questions like, Joe, when are we going to play baseball?
Yep.
Joe, why are you millionaires being so greedy? Joe, man, hey, fool, when you guys come back, I'm not going to watch that shit. I'm not going to watch you guys play baseball no more. Like, fuck this. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? What are you even saying? And so I don't have social media, so I got tired of these questions. It's literally every single day, especially, like I said, where I'm from. And so I got home one night, and I was like, man, this is freaking pathetic. Like, these people are like, anyways, I'm calling their bluff. Like, once baseball comes back, they're going to watch. But I started getting kind of tired of it, and I was like, damn. And so I used to write poetry growing up. I was very artistic. I would draw. I would do, I would shade with charcoal, like on sketch paper. But so I was kind of in my feels at that time. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to write a letter. And so I penned it in an open letter to baseball fans pretty much. And the LA Times ended up picking it up. And people liked it. People enjoyed it. And so my buddy Rob Bradford came back and was like, hey, remember when we talked about writing a book when you're done? Like, you should do it now because your Times piece was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And if you do it now, publishers will be more inclined to pick it up just because they could tell that you could actually write. It's like, I mean, I went to a UC school, top 50 public school in the country. It's not like I'm a nobody, but people just didn't know, that side of me. So ended up going to some publishers and be like, yeah, you should write the book now. And so that was all she wrote.
There you go. How long did it take you to like start to finish?
So we had it. We worked on it. I mean, we talked about it for a while. I mean, over a year, almost to a year and a half. But then when it came down to it, they said, you got 2 months, go. And we're like, wait, what?
All right.
Wait, they're like,
Yeah.
no, you have 2 months, go. And luckily we already had, everything we wanted to talk about, not in specific order. We didn't know how to piece together. But yeah, when they actually said pen to paper, it was like, you literally have 70 days. Good luck. And we didn't miss our deadline. So it was great. We ended up pulling late nights. Rob ended up traveling with me pretty much a lot last season, being in hotels, meeting with each other. But it was a fun experience for sure.
And the book is called A Damn Near Perfect Game. I got the PDF of it Thursday night, knocked a bunch out on the plane, knocked a bunch out more this morning. You, like I said to start the interview, you're really unapologetic. Yeah. You still don't like the Houston Astros, I assume, for what they did. Have you gotten a lot of shit from like other players? Like, players should have players' backs. It's us versus the owners, or have you gotten any like fuck yous in the
no
via your agent, even anything?
No, I've had more people on my side. It's one of those things where I do lose my cool once in a while. I think when I was a young guy, people were afraid to say anything, especially when I was in the clubhouse, because not to make light of anything, but they're like, I talk shit to this guy, he's gonna literally shit on my car or bring a gun to the field and shoot me. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, you keep popping me off, I might shank you. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where people are kind of nervous, and I've been to talked to some people about it, calm my emotions a little bit. But yeah, I haven't had any shit, and it hasn't. And I don't
like I'm a big believer in the if you tell the truth, you shouldn't get in trouble for it.
Yeah, who cares?
Like at any point. Yeah. Sometimes the truth hurts, and you don't want to hear it, but you can't get in trouble for it. And you kind of echoed what I think is a lot of what just baseball fans in general thought. Like when we heard about that, and I had heard rumblings about it for a couple years now, not just with the Astros,
players,
but like all over league wide.
Oh yeah,
and baseball obviously has an awful history of cheating, going back to like 1919 Black Sox throwing World Series, all that stuff.
Right.
Steroids, greenies in the 70s, all that stuff. So it didn't come as a shock to anybody, but like baseball fans, like the everyday Joe like me, we hated hearing that. It's like, go and fucking hit the ball, pitch the ball, feel the ball, catch the ball. Why do you gotta like constantly find an edge? You can do it in a legal way. So that's a long-winded way of saying thank you for kind of saying what the baseball fan feels.
And I think that's probably why I wouldn't say that like this is not a self-serving talk with me and you that we're having about myself, but like I said, I've said it numerous times, but for not ever being an all-star, not ever being a top prospect, not ever being an ace, not ever being the closer, not ever being everyone's quote unquote star of the team, I've always been the most popular player on the team. You know what I mean? Like I've literally walked down the street in LA with Mookie Betts, and someone's like, "Hey Mookie, take a picture of me and Joe." You know what I mean? So it's like
That's pretty awesome.
But I'm a middle inning reliever, you know, who's never been the face of anything. But like, I think because I've never changed the way my personality's been, I've never like appeased, like never went to someone to appease them. You know what I mean? If someone says this, but I want to act like this, I'm not gonna like listen. So I've always been authentic. I've always submit what I felt. I've always like been like real, and I think that's what fans want to see. They don't want to see the bullshit answers in an interview going like,
The cookie cutter,
how'd you get hurt today?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, I got a sore arm. I'm gonna take a week off. It's like, no, I just blew my Tommy John. I'll see you next year. You know what I mean? Like, who cares?
And don't change. Keep
Yeah, but that's what
we love that.
That's what
you know?
nobody does. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so like that's how this has kind of led.
I almost get it, you know, because people are assholes, and especially us.
Good.
And we're
yeah,
gonna
let them be assholes.
No, and that's.
Not everyone
I don't wanna
sees it
say
like that.
that's
People are
fine,
scared.
but like people are dicks, and I can see why people wouldn't want to would give the buttoned up cookie cutter answers in interviews or whatever, but like you are necessary.
Yeah.
Like your personality, and if there's someone like that in football or basketball or other pro leagues, I think those people are necessary.
I think they have to.
Yeah, because it like keeps everybody grounded. But on that note, I would like. You signed right after the lockout last year, kind of the last move the White Sox made prior to entering the regular season. Obviously, there's only 4 weeks for spring training last year.
Yeah, it was very fast.
Quick,
4 weeks, 4.
What has been your kind of crash course with Sox fans? Because we're obviously a loud, obnoxious, miserable bunch of people.
Yeah, I think it's. I would say. I mean, I played for the other Sox. I would say it's a lesser version of a bigger fan base of being like I've played in California and the Red Sox, and then there's like there's a ton of Japanese fans who are Red Sox fans. I mean, like the Red Sox are like the same as the White Sox, but they just hit different countries more often than not because they've signed Japanese players and stuff like that. So I feel like it's right at home. I mean, I had the best 5 years of my career in Boston. You know what I mean? It was highs, lows, all in between. It was numerous times where I'd be driving home going. I lived in Quincy, which is south of Boston. Lived in a little town called Squantum, and I would blow a game. And this is the point of my career where the Sox fans were on my side. You know what I mean? They liked me.
Yeah.
And so I'd be driving home, and someone would honk at me, and I'd look over and be like, "Oh, Red Sox fan," and it'd be like one of them would they'd be like. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to roll down my window. Like, hey, what up? Fuck you, Joe. And I'm like, all right, see you later. And then
man.
I'd pull off the extras, be like, hey, this guy just cussed me out on the freeway. We were going like 78 miles an hour. And I was like, hey, oh, well, blue game. But it's not going to hurt my feelings. Like, that hurts a lot of people's feelings. They're going like, oh, well, it's so tough to play there. The fans are so mean. And like, there's like many people who are like, hey, is it that hard playing in Boston? I'm like, if you ask that question, it's probably going to be hard for you. You know what I mean? Like, you're the guy who's saying, is it hard to play there? I can tell you're soft.
You're wording about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
For me, I didn't care. I thought it was great. I thought it was funny. You know what I mean? It's not life or death, guys. Relax.
And like I bring all that up, and I ask that question because we're not always like that. We're just starving for a champion. You know?
Hell yeah.
And we had 2005. I was going to say 15. 2005. I was in high school. But since then, it's been a lot of downs. And like you come in last year, it was supposed to be you, Garrett Crochet, who got hurt last year.
Was
just
hurt.
and then Hendricks at the bat. It was supposed to be just this.
We had a good bullpen. We just
awesome
guys getting
pen.
hurt.
Yeah, and obviously shortened spring, less off days in the regular season. It was a weird year, and we just grew restless. And I kind of want to like get. So you were the new guy.
Yeah.
What has it been like with Brady gone? Who stepped up? Have you taken charge of that? Has been Gio or Lance or someone?
Lance is always going to be Lance.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
dog.
there's a bunch of leaders on the team, right? There's a position player leader, there's a pitcher leader, there's a bullpen pitcher leader. The bullpen, it's one of those things where everyone has a lot of time down there. Everyone's been in big spots, so that kind of is one of its own unique kind of groups where we know what needs to be done. We know what we did. Last year we know what we needed. This year we know what to do to stay healthy. There's 3 guys with them. I mean, there's 2 of us that have over 10 years service time down there. Me and Deke, but I mean it's a very experienced pen, right? So I think that the way that Abreu led, and it wasn't even like Abreu was a leader in the sense of like, hey, wake the fuck up, like I'm gonna like get on your ass, he would never do that. He's such a nice guy. But the way he went about like leading is by like doing extra work, putting in the time. People could see him in the cage after the game. Like I'd be going home, you know, after the game, and I'm one of the last guys out because, you know, I'm a little bit older, my body needs a little bit more work, and then I'd hear a clunk, 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 and be Abreu like in the cage, you know what I mean? So like that's the kind of stuff that he did, but he wasn't doing it like to like look at me. He just really was a perfectionist at the game. So,
Right.
So like the leader and the fact of that, like we aren't really missing like the vocal leader. It's more of us like, hey, we just got to pick it up. Like obviously Vonnie's gonna be playing first.
Yep.
Abreu's gonna be hard to replace with numbers he put up through his whole career.
Yeah, he's a legend here for sure.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Consistent.
Yeah, he doesn't
30
strike
bombs,
out much. Yeah,
300.
exactly. You
Yeah.
know exactly what you're
Right.
gonna get, and he plays through a lot of things too. So
I can imagine. Yeah,
injury wise, he's
a
a
dog,
grinder.
man. Like I was at a game, I think it was 2021. There was like the capacity limits, and I got there we were interviewing someone. I get there super early, and I get onto the concourse to kind of just, you know, take a look at the beauty of a baseball field. And he's out in the bleachers just running stairs. Guy's a lunatic. But what's it been like going from Tony to Pedro? How's that switch been?
It's been good. Camp has been intense, which is the difference. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
been, you know, we have had urgency since the day we arrived, which is shown on the players. You know, like guys are playing better defense. Guys are, you know, running, you know, the grinders out a little bit harder. But the theme is just, you know, kind of have a sense of urgency, getting ready for the season where, you know, spring training used to be like kind of coast through, and then season would start, bam, and then you lose 6 in a row, and
Right,
then it's
yeah,
too
yeah.
late. So we kind of took the opposite route of that, and we've been playing, you know, with a lot more intensity, a lot more focus, and you know, try not to get behind the 8 ball with, you know, season starts, let's just kind of cruise into it. It's like, no, like we got to come out firing, especially playing Houston.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You got Houston coming up, Abreu obviously. So I know you only had a year with them, but what's it going to be like?
That's going to be,
champions?
it'd probably be hard
Yeah.
for Abreu for sure.
I'm sure it's going to be really
you know, he
weird
spent
for
his whole
him.
career here,
Yeah.
and, you know, he's one of those guys that everyone loves.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have a great team over there. You know, they're, like you said, they're defending champions. You know, obviously they're not going to have Altuve, which is going to help. A little bit easier of a
thumb
lineup
or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got hit. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good matchup. I mean, the way we're playing baseball, if we play fast, we could beat anybody. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
If we match
talent
up, like
is there from 1 through 26 on the team. And
Yeah.
last year obviously sucked.
yeah.
You know that. I don't have
course.
to,
Yeah.
you know, beat that into the ground. But I'm excited. It's fresh starts. Hope springs eternal. All that. I'm gonna bring this up to actually Lance and Gio tonight. I'll bring it up to you too, though. But a lot of what your book is, it's a damn near perfect game. I think the game is perfect.
Yeah.
The game in its purest form, it's perfect. Baseball, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
If I could just
Sure.
watch the backfields, not even you guys at the big level, like come here, watch the backfields, you know, 17, 18-year-old kids is that you have no idea who they are. That like that's baseball to me. But a lot of it's obviously you want to help grow the game. What did you think of the World Baseball Classic this year?
I loved it, man.
Every inning of it, right?
Every inning. Like, and I'm not going to watch baseball during the season. But if the World Baseball Classic somehow was during All-Star break, I would still watch it. Like, that's a different kind of baseball, and I'll watch postseason baseball because that was literally the same thing. But like I said, I have a few kids, and my son was diehard World Baseball Classic fan, and he, you know, I took him to the Mexico Team USA game, and you know,
down here,
and you know, obviously I'm half Mexican, and you know, I had Kendall leave me tickets, and he's like, as long as you don't wear a Mexican jersey, you know, you don't wear a Mexican jersey,
right.
And I was like, well, Knox will have a Team USA jersey.
Do one of the half things.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Tom Brady, Bucks, and Patriots or whatever.
I'm going to try to play for Team Mexico next time. But yeah. But, you know, it was one of those things where I went in person, and that was the first time I've ever got to watch a baseball game with my son, you know, because I play.
Yeah,
I've never been able to take him to a ball game, what dads do. And so I took him to the ball game. We stood in line, bought hot dogs, we did all this. I mean, it was a mess. Like, I was getting hounded, but still, it was so much fun.
Yeah, for sure.
To actually watch it behind home plate, you know, talk to him, explain, like, this is why this guy did this. Like, hey, this guy's warming up. Like, watch this move. And he enjoyed it. And so after that, Knox was like, let's turn on the games. And like, even if they're late, like at school, he's like, turn on the games. And so we'd never watch on TV. He's always like, hey, let's watch, you know, Minecraft bullshit or like some video games, Roblox. And so he's like, let's turn them on. I was like, cool. Like,
that's how
my
I was
son's
too, yeah.
My son's actually saying, let's turn them on and not watch like some Twitch streamer. You know what I mean? It's like, let's go. Let's turn on the baseball game.
Like as a fan, when the rosters were announced, I'm like, oh fuck, Moncada's playing. Like all these guys have like, you know, they haven't stayed healthy very much.
True.
And after watching each game, because I wouldn't necessarily root for Team USA. It was I was rooting for Tim Anderson.
Boys.
You know, I was rooting for people I knew.
Yeah.
And but that changed swiftly. Like I was rooting for Team USA.
Yeah, you wanted
them
to win, right? Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, why is he pinch running? You know, I'm running through it like it's a White Sox game. But I like that environment like I couldn't have been more wrong. I was like, I
was
want
sick.
every single White Sox player possible playing in that.
100%.
You hit the ground like
Yeah.
that's got to be. I mean, you're out here going, and that's just human nature. Spring training, it drags.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we here again? It's
But
like
if our whole
same
team played, we'd
bullshit,
be
right.
ready day one. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
These guys
you
are
hit
playing
that ground
hard,
running. It's like these guys are fucking fired up for this.
playing hard,
Talk
diving,
about
laying
going
out.
the game. There you go. You
Yeah.
know, it
That's-
was awesome.
I think it was
So-
beautiful, and I think this is the start of like making that classic even better. You know what I mean? I feel like there'll be more aces next time
right.
that will be like, you know what? All right, let's do it. You know, the problem is obviously with the health insurance. You know, obviously Kershaw couldn't get his back, you know, insured in Major League Baseball, but if they could find a way to like, you know,
yeah, of course, the injury,
incentivize
right.
a little more for these guys, like
Yeah.
you know, not just saying like, hey, we're insuring your contract. Like, well, yeah, like, okay, cool, but like, what's the incentive? Like, why do I want to blow out if I'm about to be free agent next year?
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right.
Like, but I
Would
think
you
that
have
aces
wanted to
need
play prior to watching it this year?
Yeah, I had a chance, but you know, obviously this is my first year going into spring training being healthy in like 3 seasons, so it's not.
So you wanted?
I was one of those guys
right.
like, you know, I don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be able to start the season and be able to help my team out, you know, as much as I can. And like I said, this is the first time I've been healthy in 3 years going into the season. You know, I've been throwing 100 miles an hour every single outing. I've been pitching good.
Yep.
I haven't walked the hitter. Like, you know, so like I'm on a good roll. So it's like one of those things where, you know, obviously we're not going to have Liam, our closer, and there's going to be a bunch of us. You know, there could be like 5 guys with, you know, 6 saves and the 6 different guys, you know, in the first 13 games. Like, so I know that we need to pick up the slack, obviously, in the bullpen because we don't have a designated closer, but
You guys,
you know, the
I
last
mean,
thing
you
I would
got
want is to
fucking
get hurt.
Wings in that pen, man.
yeah, we
Obviously,
have
you
so
kinda-
many arms, man.
Right.
It's
Garrett's
gonna
gonna be healthy
We're gonna
soon.
be. All we have to do is just do what we're supposed to do. Like we're a top 5 pen every year.
Without question. How and we can cut this if this is like too personal. How is Liam doing?
He's doing great.
Yeah.
You know, he was just here and you missed him like 10 minutes ago. We were playing
Yeah.
catch. He was playing catch with me and my son were playing catch on the field. But yeah, he's doing good. He's been throwing. He's been throwing bullpens.
That's
you know.
what I've heard. He's a
He's
crazy
ready.
person.
He's ready. He's
Yeah.
ready to come back, man. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the middle of May. So.
Oh no shit.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys would, but I've seen him doing his work. So don't quote me, but like,
No.
It could happen. You never
yeah.
know.
No, I mean everybody sees
Yeah.
him on the mound. Like
Yeah.
you know he's
He's
got
a
that
freak.
loose screw, you
Yeah,
know, in the best way possible. So that I don't think that would shock
Yeah,
anybody
yeah.
if he was here, you know, next
No,
month.
but yeah, he's been
early
throwing.
on.
He's been trying to do his workouts. You know, trying
Mhm.
to limit his. You know, obviously he doesn't want to go into a room full of 30 guys with him being, you know, with cancer. Like you could get
Right,
a regular
yeah.
cold could turn into something bad, right? So like he waits the guys leave, then he comes in.
Stays
like he
outside,
kinda,
yeah,
he does
right.
his own thing, wears his mask. So, but yeah, he definitely is trying to get back as soon as he can.
That's great to hear. That was such a shit story.
Dude, crazy, yeah.
It just out of nowhere. It's like what?
Yeah,
But we'll wrap up here. Personal goals, team goals that you guys have this year.
team goals. My team goal, obviously, we play good. We're gonna make the playoffs. But my team goal, I'd like to see our guys, you know, play hard. You know, not just for the sake of the fans or the sake of the game, but like really, really try to love each other more as teammates. I think that'd be a huge goal for us if we could do
I
that.
think winning will help that too.
Yeah, if we could
And
do
that-
that, I think not only get to the playoffs, we have a chance, to be the best in the league.
Like I said, 1 through 20, even 1 through 40.
Yeah.
Like you got, like I haven't seen him too much this year because to the grow the game thing. Spring training games haven't been televised like once a week in
Yeah, it's horrible.
middle of the day. You
Yeah.
know, can't catch that often. But how's Oscar looking? Some of the young guys that are kind of waiting in the wings.
Yeah, the young guys have been doing good. Oscar is a great player. Got voted ugliest rookie on the team so far.
Mm-hmm.
We just had a conversation. Me and the Latin guys were like, Joe, who's the ugliest guy on the team? Latin guy. I said, hey, not gonna say anything. They're like, come on. They're like winking at me, like,
Yeah.
do Colas.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, Colas. He's ugly for sure. But no, he looks good. Yeah, he's playing hard. So
I heard you yelled at Han because of Schultz. Not
yes,
being,
it was, and
Yeah.
that was months. I mean, that was like a 2-month thing that I had. I mean, I worked out with Schultz this offseason, saw him throw, and I was like, he's literally
filthy.
the numbers he puts
He's
up. Like
filthy.
you look him up on all the data.
The
He's got the best on the team.
Trackman and all
Everything,
that. Yeah.
number one on our team. Like
Mhm.
I don't care, starter, reliever, cease.
It's
doesn't matter.
weird. What are you, 6 foot?
6 foot.
Yeah,
he's like 6'9".
Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah.
You don't see guys that long and lanky that have that body control. Because I'm
No,
watching
yeah.
him. He's like repeatable.
Yeah, it's
From
great.
like that funky
It's
slide.
great.
He's tall.
And I had a chance to like he'd throw right
crazy.
here, and I'm standing right here 2 feet away, and I was like, all right, I'll see you in big league camp. And then I found out he wasn't going, and I lost my shit. I was like,
Good.
How the f is this guy
Yeah.
not in big league camp? Like he should be learning like from big leaguers, like how how to like practice, how to
Yeah.
like talk about pitching, how to like watch a bullpen, how to see a tip, like anything. But hopefully we'll see him.
He'll
next
get there.
year,
Yeah,
but
he'll be there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a local guy too. So once you're, he can be at Sox Park anytime.
That's true.
Any final thoughts though? I guess we'll wrap
No,
up
I
here.
mean, no, I think it's gonna be a great year.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think,
excited. Yeah, watch
it's gonna
this.
be fun and very exciting. We play
Yeah.
fast. We're gonna hurt some people's
It
feelings.
looks like you guys are actually playing
Playing
I
hard.
mean, with the new pitching rules and the bigger base and everything.
it's
you guys
great.
got speed, man.
Yeah, I know. It should help.
You got speed, yeah. So
should
it's going to be a
definitely
fun
help.
year. It's going to
Yeah.
be a really fun year. Looking forward to it. Watch this
Awesome.
stink off from last year. Forget about it. And
Yeah.
let's,
New year,
let's-
baby.
New year.
Yep.
New year, new team, right? But
Amen.
wrap up there.
Awesome.
Book is, once again, A Damn Near Perfect Game by Joe Kelly. Co-written by anybody?
Rob Bradford.
Yeah, Rob Bradford.
Yep.
Okay. So check it out. I have gotten through about half of it. Awesome hearing a active big leaguers unabridged thoughts on everything baseball, and I mean he didn't hold back, and
No.
it was refreshing to see, and I appreciate it. I can't wait to
Awesome.
finish it in the next couple days. So check it out.
Thank you.
All right, that was Joe Kelly. Thanks again to him for jumping on.
And thanks to me for the
Thanks to Dave.
outstanding interview.
Good job, Dave.
Good job, Dave.
Yeah, his book
I haven't
is
listened,
called
but good job.
A Damn Near Perfect Game. I did read it. It is very good. He, like I said in the interview, like he doesn't mince words. He names names of guys that cheated, guys he doesn't like, specifically Joe Kelly with the crying face meme. Or not Joe Kelly, Carlos Correa.
Yeah.
With the crying face meme. It's a really good book, and it's coming from an active player. It was a breath of fresh air because he's like, this game could be fucking awesome, which it could be. And but like there are a bunch of fixable issues that haven't been fixed quite yet. But that was in spring training. We interviewed him, and everybody seems to like the direction baseball is going right now. So
Baseball's
go take
been
a.
great this year. This is my favorite April of baseball I think I can remember in a long
It's
time.
been my most miserable.
Did you see
Now, Joe?
Did you see Castellani's tweet?
What was that?
He goes, "The White Sox aren't even my team, and it bothers me how bad they are."
But
All right, we said we're going to be positive.
And-
Can we
and-
got to talk about other teams here. I'm sorry.
I know
we have to.
I know that Chris Castellani is looking. I ghosted him intentionally yesterday.
How so?
He texted me. He's like, "Why are the White Sox so bad?" I got that text, and if he were in the same room with me, I might have killed him.
No.
And that's Chris Castellani. We're talking about
Yeah, he's
the
a
like
nice-
kindest, nicest kid of all time.
Harmless.
Castellani, don't ever fucking do that again. Where's the camera? Which one?
You got it. You had it the first time.
Look at that.
It's all three.
Castellani,
Look at those eyes,
don't
dude.
fucking do that anymore.
These things are fucking saucers.
When the White Sox look like
Business.
shit, that means I'm angry. Don't fucking text me asking why the White Sox look like shit. You're a smart baseball guy. Use your own fucking eyes. Still love you.
Unbelievable. All right, Chief, I assume you were referencing, before we got to Joe Kelly, you were referencing Kyle Davidson.
And Poles.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
obviously Ryan
yeah.
Poles.
I was actually thinking more Poles than Davidson.
Okay.
The Hawks thing is just like it's so much of their future is just relying on ping pong balls though. So
Talk about luck.
Yeah.
Does that kind of suck?
yeah,
Because now baseball's got a lottery now too. Fucking White Sox future might.
yeah, I don't know.
Relying
It's
ping pong
one of those
balls.
things where it's like I don't think I would want to necessarily change the system, but years where you're it actually because of the way the Hawks finish, it kind of works in their favor. The Hawks did everything they could. Davidson did everything he could to finish dead last, and the players fucked them.
So there's second, right?
Third. Yeah.
Dude, I'm
So, like, if it wasn't a lottery, it would be like, well, we're fucked. So the lottery at least gives you a little bit of hope of getting in that top two. And it's just like I keep seeing all these like little clips and segments and things about Bedard. It's just like, oh fuck, this guy's going to be so unbelievable. But, and it's like you're watching the playoffs, and it's like who like the real contenders are. And then who are the teams who are just really good teams. And it's like if you win the lottery, you have a path towards being a contender. If you don't win the lottery, you're probably just going to end up being one of these really good teams like Winnipeg and Minnesota and which is, I don't know, I guess it's fine. It's really fucking hard to win the Stanley Cup.
We'll remember that Pittsburgh game forever if we lose this
Fucking
lottery.
Buddy Robinson, man. Like that guy,
Yeah.
he's like a journeyman guy, mostly AHL guy. He scored that goal, and I will fucking hate him forever. If they give him another contract, I will be furious.
And even
furious.
Just because of that, no matter what he turned, well,
He's not going to turn into anything.
Yeah,
they're going to
he is what
sign
he is,
this summer. They're going to sign like a bunch of like shitty veterans, and they're going to overpay them. And I shouldn't say shitty. Like AnthonyCio will probably get another deal. Nobody wanted AnthonyCio at the deadline because he's got some warts to his game. He's super fucking fast and he's got talent, but like there's warts to his game. The Hawks are probably going to give him like $6 million a year because they have to get up to the cap floor and they just need some guys.
Their cap is very
That'd be
funny.
a nice position to be in.
They have like
There's like 4 guys under contract for next year, I think. Something like that.
it's something like preposterous.
Yeah,
So
and then after that, I think it's like 2, like Seth Jones and like one other person.
Well, that'll change too because they have
It's just funny now.
yeah, but like Kurashev, like they'll extend him. They have like a handful of restricted free agents that they'll want to sign. Kurashev's probably at the top of that list. And but yeah, no, it's looking they have like no players. They have like no guys on their team, and it's like all of their like promising young players are probably still a year away. So like the guys that they drafted last year, like Korchinski and Green and Rinzel's probably like 4 years away. Nazar's probably 2 years away. So it's like anybody that you have hope for, you're not going to get to watch them.
Yeah, it's more than that what I said, but it's like guys you like really know, like that are actually making decent money is like Jones, Tyler Johnson, Connor Murphy, Mrazek.
Mrazek will be back.
It's more than that, sorry.
No, but I mean you're right.
24, 25 right now. Seth Jones making 9.5.
Yeah.
Connor Murphy making 4.4, and then Wyatt Kaiser.
Kaiser's a nice player. So I was talking to somebody about Kaiser, and they're saying that he's looked so good that he might not even need to go to the AHL next year, because that's like a common thing in hockey. Like you sign a guy that you drafted out of college, he comes in, he finishes the year, that allows him to burn a year off his contract. That's how you kind of entice him to sign.
Yeah, and
then you right back next year to the American League. Kaiser might be better than that. I'm really interested to see what they're able. This guy, like, they traded for him at the deadline to get an extra pick, Nikita Zaitsev. He's so fucking bad. He's like the worst defenseman I've ever seen. He's so terrible. But Murphy would probably have some value. They might be able to like eat half of his money and trade him next year too. So, but I really like Connor Murphy. I feel bad for Connor Murphy. Connor Murphy is like, his dad was a coach in the league. His dad played in the league. He was a first-round pick of Arizona. He does everything kind of the right way. He has never played in a playoff game. He's like becoming like, there was in the previous generation, it was like Olli Jokinen, who played for like 13 years, was always like a very good player, was just always on terrible teams.
Murphy's not too old though, right?
He's 30.
Really?
And he came in the league at like 19. So he's got 11 years.
For some reason, I thought
and there's
he was like
no end to that
27.
in sight unless he gets traded. So he's going to go, like, I guess if you want to count the bubble series, like I don't fucking count that, but he's never played in a playoff game with fans. Like that's unbelievable for a guy who, like, to me, you look at a guy like that, he's kind of like built for the playoffs. So it's kind of, but I like, in general, I like what Davidson's doing. Obviously, I was pissed about how the organization handled the Taves Kane situation, more specifically Kane. But I like the type of guys that they're going for, and I think that they will. It will probably won't be until they need to have like this draft go very well, and then the 2024 draft also go very well. And then they'll start to be fun. And when I'm 40.
Any other last kind of bow on Taves' last game? I mean, I know there was a lot of anger from you before it, but watching it after.
No, it was anger because of like the timeline and like how they handled them. And it's like, I told Taves last week he wasn't getting a contract. Like, last week? Like, what are you talking about? And that would be my advice for Davidson. If he was going to hire like a consultant, like a media consultant, it'd be like, dude, say less. Just stop. Just be like Belichick. Just be like, we're on to Cincinnati. Whatever the answer is, just say fucking less, because that is how he ends up like pissing people like me off. It's because he says something in real time that might be like an excuse, or like it's a good excuse in the moment, but then you don't live up to that, and it's just like, you should just talk less. Like, just make the team fucking good. You don't have to explain everything, and quite frankly, you shouldn't. And most of the media doesn't really know dick about hockey anyway, so you'll be fine. So just say less things in the media would be my my advice to Davidson. Other than that, I think he's doing a solid job, given I think he might have a little bit of handcuffs in some meddling going on as well. That's just like a gut instinct. So we'll see. But I think they're largely on their way. And the Taves thing, it was, in a way, it was perfect. Like that he got to have like the send off and scored a goal, and the fans got to appreciate him in real time. And because like the Kane thing, No, I didn't go. I thought it'd be better if I was like home tweeting than going. Like when Kane was like, it wasn't announced. Like I was living at the United Center because I'm like, I'm gonna, and I got some spectacular moments out of that. But it was just, I think you were at the Vegas game, right? Weren't you at the Vegas game with Hochberg? Yeah. Where you had the buzzer beater. Yeah. And so
it didn't
I don't know.
Count, right?
No,
yeah.
it didn't. But like
it was still awesome.
But it did. In my brain, like that's on his highlight reel, like for the Hawks, like that counted. And so I was happy for Taves. I was happy he got that. I do think he's going to retire. Davidson said he expects him to play somewhere else next year. That might be Davidson just, saying nice things. But I think he'll be done. And I think he's on the Mount Rushmore of greatest Blackhawks ever. So it was nice in a way, but it's like a sad ending to have him be like a health thing, and like they haven't made the playoffs or won a playoff series in 8 years. So
it's a good send off though.
Yeah,
it was like he got proper love, and you could tell he was pretty emotional about it.
What did you guys think about it as like the more casual hockey people?
Listen, I obviously was upset that game went to overtime. Yeah. When it went to overtime, you're already getting 1 point. He's on the breakaway. It's like, all right, you're hoping he scores that. Just get that. Even though looking at the points right now, I don't know if they would have had the tiebreaker over San Jose, which would have put them in even another 2% lower for the chance at one overall. So
I wanted him to score.
It could have been detrimental, but in that moment you get lost in it, right?
Yeah. It would have. Yeah, it is. Let's see.
I don't know how the tiebreaker works.
I was at a Columbus game when the Hawks won.
It was definitely San Jose would be in third.
Yeah. See, so it would all right. So you kept a couple percentage points to get number 1 overall, which might matter in the end. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Also, I do have solace in the fact that there are definitely some diehard Blue Jackets fans that were probably pulling their hair out too, because I can't believe they won their last game.
I know.
That is awful.
Who caught that touchdown pass for the Texans when Lovey went for it?
I have no idea.
Can we send that guy like a case of Miller Lite or something?
Yeah, right.
Beef kit.
Yeah.
But like those,
send it to
like
fucking Davis Mills.
Who we hate that the Hawks fucked up that Pittsburgh game, and because in the end, like, that doesn't fucking matter, I personally, I wouldn't want Jose Abreu hitting a walk-off home run if it's going to cost him draft position in his last game.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Like, it'd be sweet in the moment, then I'd be like, actually, no.
Taves is different, though. Like that.
I understand.
Oh, no, we can't do this again.
If they had lost the Pittsburgh game, then it's like we're not talking about anything. Like you get the 2 points and you're kind of where you are. It was the Pittsburgh one, fucking Buddy Robinson.
Well, they would have had 2 if they wouldn't have got that extra point.
Yeah, but if they lost to Pittsburgh, they would still be sitting third, I guess.
Yeah. Listen, whatever happens, I hope 1-2 is. I hope Columbus is the other.
I don't.
Opponent. You rather Anaheim? Fuck them.
Montreal.
Give me a cold weather city who needs some spark. All right, Montreal, sure.
Yeah. The thing with Columbus is
look, there's a big gap between 68 points and 59. I'm looking at the bottom dwellers.
Yeah. No, I mean that's I hear what you're saying, and it's like you want Columbus to kind of have like a shot at being like they've never had like a consistently good team. Their rebuild won't take as long as the Hawks, regardless of where they draft, and but like they're a team to me that if they go to third, they can take Mitchkov and not worry about it because they're further along in their rebuild.
Oh, that's good.
And and they can kind of they can kind of afford, in my opinion, to roll the dice more than like the Hawks can.
Mm-hmm.
So and Mitchkov might be the second best player in this draft. Like that's like
it's the first time I heard you say that.
From a pure talent perspective, he's that's
the dude that might be.
He might never come over.
Yeah,
because he's a Russian. So, but he's a superstar talent in his own right. Like most years, if not for like the Russia stuff and like having guys like Bedard and Fantilli, he's like a runaway number 1 slam dunk guy. Like the points that he's putting up at his age are better than Kirill. who's the Wild's best player, better than Kucherov, better than Malkin, better than Ovechkin. Like he's putting up points in the KHL as a 17-year-old. That is a higher clip than anybody ever.
And you don't have any interest in him?
No, I don't, because he signed through 2026, and it's like if the Hawks, if they slip to 5, but I also had a guy who works in scouting for another team in the NHL that I'm friends with, not the Blackhawks, okay? Because I had that last week. He was like, I had some rant. I don't even remember what I said. I was like blacked out, like with rage. And I had like this fucking Will Smith. Like, we're going to end up with Will Smith. And he's like, dude, Will Smith is fucking awesome. And he's like, if you get him, like, it, it's like, I understand what you're saying, but like you should be thrilled about getting a guy like Will Smith. And so I'm like, all right, so, but if the Hawks fall to 5th and Mitchkov is still there, maybe.
And you can't buy him out of that contract? There's nothing like that?
No, it's like, and there's like the geopolitics too. Like, we're not doing any kind of business deals.
Wirtz Beverage could barrel up some good stuff, send it over there.
Stoli
Some
Chennai,
Stoli. Yeah. Just be like, hey, your whole team will be supplied with Stoli until 2050.
They might do
Is that actually Russian or just
No, I don't know.
Russian?
I don't know where it's from, to be honest, but sounds pretty Russian. Yeah.
I like a good Stoli.
Is that where their plant is? Or their like distro center?
Where for Wirtz?
Yeah,
it's over in like Cicero. Is their big one. They got them all over. They got them all over the country, but they're big ones in Cicero. Yeah, but he's spectacular. And like, to all the people who are like, I get this tweet maybe every day about Mishkov only weighs 148 pounds. What? Because that's what he's listed on in Tankathon. It is 5'10", 148. Guys, turn your brains on. Okay, Russia hasn't been allowed to compete in an actual competition in 2 or 3 years. So it was probably that weight at the U16s, U16 World Junior, where he was 15 years old and he weighed 148 pounds. I would almost guarantee that he's 5'10", 5'11", and weighs 165, 170. So don't worry about him being like a little beanpole. And like he's probably like a similar build to like a Panarin.
I thought Panarin was kind of yoked, like stocky.
He's certainly not stocky, but he does like jiu-jitsu and like crazy training where he's like strong, but he's not like bullying guys the way that like a Fantilli would. Like he's built like he's slight framed. Yeah.
All right, then. We're going to get into a lot of Bear stuff next week. We have a guest coming on that's going to kind of break down the draft. So we could kind of get into that heavy next week. Obviously, it's a huge point of discussion. What we're going to do at 9.
And maybe they'll trade back by the time we get to next
yeah,
week too,
who knows?
There's some rumors rumbling out there.
There is some rumors, and we'll give our thoughts and whatnot. Anything else?
I don't think so. I feel like the positive vibes. I think the Hawks are on the right path largely, and I think the Bears are on a really good path, and the Cubs are on a good path. And it's just something about the Bulls and the Sox. Like, I don't know what the problem is there, but those teams.
Do they share a common denominator? Does anybody know?
Dave is.
Yeah. All right then.
My summer's fucking ruined because of those cocksuckers.
There's a lot of concerts, the Salt Shed.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's only spring, so.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, all right, so half my years, the seasons are ruined.
Well, also,
and the fall because
Dave's summer starts on St. Patrick's Day. Don't forget. So
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Not even St. Patrick's Day.
The
parade
unofficial.
weekend.
The parade weekend.
Yes. Yeah. Unofficial
when
start
it's
to
30
summer.
degrees.
Yeah.
Some years it's not.
The unofficial.
It's when things start to get better.
But then they don't.
They do. We just had a week straight of.
Oh, weather-wise, but your life doesn't get better.
No.
All right, hey, how about this? Sports guys. Big sports show.
Yeah,
all
huge
sports.
Yeah.
All sports today, Danny.
Yeah, Barstool Sports.
Yeah, exactly. Full Redline Radio segment. Thanks again to Joe Kelly for jumping on. Go check out his book. Oh, sorry. Any thoughts on the boxing match? Tank versus...
it's going to be the first boxing match that I'm going to buy in
a couple of years.
Tank versus Garcia.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I feel like Garcia... I'm with Large, and I feel like he's like he could be like the next face of boxing if he gets a W here. So I'm gonna buy it, and I'm excited for it.
You want to watch it here?
No,
you get the pizza?
Not necessarily.
Okay,
sure.
Actually, last time was fun.
Yeah,
we had a good time.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Tank a ton. I've seen Garcia a few times, But just like looking at the odds and like seeing
What are they?
highlights and what I think Garcia or Tank was like minus 230. I like Tank. I do.
Okay.
I think
I like
he would be my
Garcia.
pick.
I don't know. We'll see. That fucking left, man. It's fun. It's the ghost left. You don't even see him throw it, and then all of a sudden the guy's fucking dead.
Yeah, I remember seeing him 2 fights ago. Who did he fight? He fought a guy from London, I think.
Yeah. I'm kind of
Yeah.
surprised this isn't the Derby Day fight, but I guess it's still Canelo's fighting somebody for that.
Yeah, he fought Luke Campbell from England, and he Campbell like stunned him like early, and he ended up knocking him out in the 7th round. So it was still light work, but I don't know, something about that. I was like, man, this is gonna be the guy. And ever since then, I've been a little
You got a
Wary
little
of him.
hairy, fishy.
yeah,
feeling.
exactly. So
Little
that's why
stink about him.
Yes,
Okay.
All right.
but I could be very wrong.
That's fair.
All right, so yeah, that's it. Thanks everybody for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next Tuesday live in the YouTube, 2 p.m. Central. Make sure you check that out. Also, doesn't what's going on this week? Doesn't Scott has a show this weekend? I think.
Yeah. Scott
Friday night?
Yeah. Let me pull up the thing that the banner, the ad.
21st, 22nd, or something like that. I think it is.
Scott
Yeah.
Darling?
Yeah.
Big comedy show.
Exactly. So go check out our buddy Scott. Danny, got anything?
Is Scott's ear growing back yet?
It's a
It
good
is
question.
growing back.
I ran into Scott walking the dog at like 6 in the last Friday, so 6 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And his ear looked like a little better. It's still fucking black.
Yeah. No,
But
he's getting better.
It's getting better.
It's Friday night, April 21st, 7:30.
There you go. So it's on YouTube.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
So if you're just listening, though, it's 7:30. Go to nopuckscomedy.com. It's at Marcello's in Northbrook. So
Yep.
if you're in Northbrook or around there, go check out Scott.
Yeah, so kind of cool. Like he's really gone headfirst into this comedy thing. So we put a whole show together. There's going to be 7 or 6 other comedians, and then him as well. So yeah, it should be a good time.
Danny,
No pucks.
What's that
given.
pizza
Get it?
place right up there?
no pucks given. I just
Barnaby's.
Barnaby's,
I
yeah.
haven't had it. It's the one pizza that I haven't had in Chicago where I looked at a picture of it. I'm like, where in the fuck's that from?
It's a
I need to
weird
get
looking
it.
crust.
I've had it before.
Yeah.
I'll give you the Scotty report.
Off camera?
Yeah, off camera.
That sounds like a sub 7.
No. It's the inside is like it was made like from like exactly what I look for. It's such a beautiful ambiance.
Portnoy reviewed it.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I
did.
did.
He did.
Wait,
Um,
Well,
pretty
there's multiple
decent, I think.
locations. I think he went to the one in Glenview. Yeah. He gave
Yeah,
it a
I think
good
it
one.
varies pretty.
The one
decently,
right
too.
up, the one I'm talking about is it's up by what's the fucking outdoor place? The concert venue.
Oh, Ravinia.
Yeah, Ravinia. It's like 2 minutes from Ravinia.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
I didn't know that.
You gotta like go get a picture from like the bar. Like it's like it's
old world,
I know.
yeah.
It's got
Oh.
old school wooden boots.
Can we go soon? I'm not
It's
even
very
kidding.
cool. If you behave, yeah. If you behave,
What is that supposed to mean? I'm on my best behavior.
I know. Things have been good lately.
Yeah. Vibes are good,
Yeah.
except for
Yeah, I do know, which affects my, entire mood.
All right, sweet. All right, everybody. Now for real. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. See you guys on Tuesday.